Yes, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, boys, girls and vibrations. How is everybody on this lovely Saturday morning? What a day to be alive. Love and light to everyone. Now, I wanted to make this video and talk a little bit about my time in prison. Durham jail especially. First went to prison when I was 34. On remand. I ended up being in there just shy of 12 weeks. First time round. But when I first landed in jail, I was a lunatic. You know, my emotions were all over the place. And I was channeling all this negativity, misery, pain towards anybody that wanted it. Towards screws, you know, but mainly towards other prisoners. I cracked someone in the reception, you know, as soon as I got in there. I'd been in there 2 minutes, you know, and I got stuck into someone that were giving us, you know, a bit of slaver on the bus. Didn't like it, no, to say the least. Way out my comfort zone, and you know, everything was just the height of frustration. You know, I went onto the induction wing. I got 7 nickings in the first 10 days for fighting. You know, anybody that usually the people that come to my door, you know, the people that come to your pad door asking for tea bags and whiteners and that. I just get off the bed and go and crack them at the door. You know, and I'd usually just keep cracking them till the screws came. I mean, you only usually get about 30 seconds on average, if you're lucky, you know, to get stuck into someone, because you know that the screws are on you, you know, and they're on you fast, you know, and I got twisted up many times. Anyways, after about 2 weeks on the induction wing, because anything they offered us, they come to my pad, they're like, you know, do you want A wing, do you want B wing? I was like, nah. So I was on the induction wing for like 2 weeks, and I got sort of a bit of crack off a few of the lads that there was a load of Carlisle on B wing. So then I went to, you know, one of the screws, put us on B wing. Next morning they come and got us, you know, you got on B wing. Still had this rage inside, you know what I mean? I hated it. I hated the system. I hated everything about it. You know, but I sharp realised that channeling, you know, negativity and being offensive, you know, and insulting the screws was nowhere to go about it. You know, you've got to remember, the screws are the people in authority. And when you hear this term, you know, like it's a screws jail, the screws jails and cons jails, well, Durham is a screws jail, you know, Preston is a screws jail. You know, and you realise that when you know, I've been to 4 prisons, and you just realise, you know, what they're on about. You know, they call all the shots, they've got all the power, you know, they're in charge big time. You know, and there's a bit more of a balance when you go to like some Cat C jails and that, you know, the cons have got a lot of pull, they've got a lot of say, but not in Durham. It's a screws jail. And you know, like I say, I sharp realised that, you know, being a twat with them got you nowhere. So started building a sort of a couple of half decent little relationships, if you like, you know, with the screws. You know, they were alright, a lot of them were alright. They were cushy. Some of them knew who I was, some of them knew who I was before I got there. So I got talking to some of them and kind of half friendly and that with some of them, you know. And anyone that is going to prison, obviously I would never advise getting yourself into a position where you're going to go to prison, but anyone who is going, I would advise that, you know, you be kind of courteous, and you know, you'd be all right with the screws, because these are the people that pull the strings. These are the people in authority. These are the people that can do you favours, that can get you, you know, the jobs that you want, you know, can get you the positions that you want in them jobs, you know, can get you like emergency phone credit and, you know, loads of little flufferys that go on top. You know, these are the people that can get you these things. So be cool with them, you know. And I sharp learned, you know, on B wing, the cooler I was with them, the more kind of favours and little turns I was getting, and you know, the treatment went up a little bit, and I was on basic for a little while, but no, I ended up with a telly and that anyway. I would just cushy with us, you know. It was just, things were getting sounder and sounder. I had a couple of letters, you know what I mean, that I wasn't, you know, that didn't exactly please us. I was seeing a lass at the time, and I'd run out of phone credit, and there was this day, I think I was about 6 weeks in, it just all come to a point, you know, the frustration and that. I still hadn't settled in, you know, I still hadn't found my feet, you know, I was still like on Queer Street, if you like, not having a good time, to say the least. But I was definitely more settled than I was in my first couple of weeks, but, you know, still a million mile away from a comfort zone. And it's funny because you get people in there who, they like it, you know, they quite like it, you know, be it an occupational hazard, be it, you know, better than being homeless, or be it just a break from the chaos. You know, you get people in there who are actually quite content in there, you know, the cushy. I wasn't one of them. You know, I was very highly strung and had a sharp fuse. And anyways, this day, I got onto the CO. You see, the chaplains stopped putting emergency credit on. They stopped doing it. The authority was taken away because they were getting manipulated. The chaplains are often very nice, you know, and they were quite easy to manipulate. And they stopped putting emergency credit on for people on the phones. And it was only the CO that could do it. So, got onto the CO. You know, can I get £2 emergency phone credit? After a bit of begging, if you like, and I got it. You know, she said, right, I'll give you it. I'll get it sorted for you. You know, it'll be sorted for you tonight. So we got out to go to work. I was on the servery, on the cleaners. Got out to go to work. I said to the few of the screws, I don't even know, where's Miss the CO? Where's Miss such and such? I can't actually remember her name. Where's Miss? Oh, she's away home. She's believing it. A shift's done in 20 minutes. She'll be heading to reception. I was like, right. And I'd done some begging for this phone credit. You know what I mean? I really had. And I just lost it. I absolutely lost the plot. When the screw was telling us that she'd gone, I could feel my lip like gone. That was a sign for me I was going to lose the plot. I just completely lost it. Started screaming. And I mean screaming. I was in the screw's face. It wasn't his fault. I was right in his face. Well, you are all lying. You know what I mean? Proper con cunts and that. You'll say out. And I gnashed up and jumped on the nets. And there was a few of the screws that I knew were like, oh, yeah, Christy and that, man. It's canteen night and all. It was a Tuesday night. It's canteen night, man. It was like 5 o'clock. A lot of the people are halfway. There's already a big queue. You know, 2 of the landings were out. They had to lock them all back up. When you jump on the nets, you know, they bang everyone up. So they were banging everyone up, and like Father Mark was coming back from the gym, you know, and I'd been kind of well behaved for a couple of weeks, and you know, I was getting he was kind of praising us a little bit for it because he knew where my head was, you know what I mean? He knew how easy it was for us to kick off, and he'd come back from the gym and seen us on the nets. He's like, Danny, man, you're never going to get what you want doing this. You're going the wrong way about it and that. Well, it was too late by then. I was on the nets. You know, the screws were like, you're going to lose your job and that. I just ripped my top off. We had these long sleeve cleaners, t-shirts that had just come out. We were buzzing because it was new kit. We were like, and I just fucking ripped it off, fired it at them. I was like, stick your job. Screaming, pacing up and down the net with my hand like that, talking like that with my hands, ranting and raving and spitting and swearing and not having a very good time. And anyways, the CO ended up coming back. She'd come back from reception, and I was like, here she is. Started laying into her. She's like, look, if you get down now, I'll get you your phone credit. I says, well, you promised us it anyway. You know what I mean? It should have been on, you know, and me just instead of taking a deal going on and on. She says, I says, no, you go and put it on now, and then I'll get down. So she come back and she was like, it's on. I promise you it's on. So I was like, right. I says, I want my canteen and all, because they lock the canteen up at the toilets on the bottom of the wing until everyone's locked up and they dish it all out. I said, I want my canteen and all. She's like, I'm not making any more deals with you and that. I says, get my canteen out there, because I know I'm going to be locked up all night. I'm not going to get back out for Miss Gran and that. I said, get my canteen, put it in my pad, and I'll get off right now. They're threatening the tornado squad and all that. I mean, you don't really want to be on there when you don't really want the tornado squad come for you. I've seen what to do to people. And even if by the time they're rang, you get down off their nets and go to your pad, they'll just want to know who you are. They'll just come up on your pad and fill you in your pad. Trust us. They don't come all the way from Leeds for nout. You know what I mean? They're doing the business when they get there. So there was threat to the tornado squad. I was like, listen, get my canteen, put it in my pad, and I'll get down. So they trotted off. Took them about 10 minutes to ratchet out, out of all the boxes. They says, it's here. And I pushed it, didn't I? I said, right, I knew they were serving ice creams because I've been on the servery, but I hadn't got my dinner because I kicked off halfway through serving. I said, go and get us 2 ice creams off the servery and I'll get off. They were like, you are taking the piss. I said, get me 2 ice creams and I promise you now, on my kids, I will get off. So what did they do? They trotted back with 2 ice creams. So I had my phone credit what I wanted. I got my canteen before anybody else. And everyone that's locked up's going bananas. You know what I mean? They're all going bananas. And I'm just shouting back at them, what are you going to do about it? And my head had gone. And then when they seen them coming in with the canteen, they all started going nuts. I want my canteen and that. So they weren't happy. But, and then I got my ice cream. So I got my £2 credit, I got my canteen in my pad, and I got my ice cream. So I felt like a winner. But then I thought I've lost my job though, haven't I? Nah, I was locked up all night with my canteen. I had a load of spizzle, getting off me nut like a clown. And the next morning, coming up and us up, you're back at work. They hadn't even kicked us off my job. I was right back on the cleaners. And it was probably my worst day in Durham, that. Just lost it. I was, like I said, I was crying a river when I was kicking off. But highly emotional person, and it's a bad place for showing any vulnerabilities, so. And I maybe had some vulnerabilities going on, but I wasn't willing to show them. So I just channeled it in this eruption of rage, protest on the nets. And, I did get what I wanted. It was a shock to many people on the wing that I got what I wanted, because they don't usually behave like that. But for whatever reason, it worked, But my advice to anybody that was ever going to prison would be, keep the screws on side. You've got to get the balance, of course, because, you can't exactly give them any information, you know what I mean, or anything like that. But you need to keep them on side. These are the people with the power. These are the people that pull all the strings. These are the people that can do you them favours, nobody else. So keep them on side, be polite, be courteous, and, your time will be a bit easier for you. Aye. Prison talk, man. Maybe do some more one day. Thanks for listening, people. Enjoy your weekend. Ta-da for now.